If you want to save money on your next car, discover the savings and service at Mossy Oldsmobile Pontiac.
They got me the exact car that I wanted, and they gave me the price that I needed, and the service department is great.
I came here from beautiful St. Bernard Parish to buy for Mossy because of the great salespeople and 4 years of free oil changes.
So if you want to save money on your next car,
discover the magic at Mossy. Mossy Oldsmobile Pontiac.
You're watching Channel 6, WDSU TV, New Orleans. And this is Channel 6 News Tonight.
And there were approximately 20 individuals that were staying in a group camp. They experienced signs and symptoms of carbon monoxide poisoning.
It's becoming an all too common problem. Carbon monoxide fumes leaking from heaters and sending people to the hospital. This time, 19 teenage girls taken to the hospital on the North Shore. Tisha Powell with that report.
A Christmas retreat for teens at Fontainebleau State Park in Mandeville was interrupted this morning by headaches and nausea.
They experienced signs and symptoms of carbon monoxide poisoning.
Officials say the fumes were coming from a cabin heater and fortunately were discovered before it was too late.
It could have been serious had it not been detected, but since it was detected, they were able to get the people out.
Not the case for Amika Nelson and Antoine Zanders. The young couple died in their apartment in the St. Bernard housing development last weekend, and carbon monoxide was to blame. 4 days ago, 13 people got sick and went to the hospital in Covington. Carbon monoxide, the culprit again.
I was scared at first, but, I just got all the kids together and went to the hospital.
But there are ways to protect yourself against the odorless, colorless gas.
You can have all of your fossil fuel burning appliances inspected yearly and make the necessary repairs before the cold weather sets in. And you also want to be aware of the signs and symptoms involved with carbon monoxide poisoning.
Most are flu-like, headaches, nausea, and fatigue. And with more exposure, the symptoms are more severe. A victim could lose consciousness, suffer convulsions, brain damage, and eventually die. Fire officials also say it's a good idea to get a carbon monoxide detector. They say taking the extra steps to protect your home from the poisonous gas could ultimately save your life. Tisha Powell, Channel 6 News Tonight.
Meanwhile, the minister of the Church of the Living God, where the retreat is being held in this latest carbon monoxide incident, says all the girls are okay and that the event is continuing as planned. Meanwhile, back in New Orleans, gunfire disrupts a quiet Christmas in the 9th Ward, and when it was all over, one man lay dead on the street, another critically injured. It happened on Lesseps Street about 7 o'clock. Police believe the deceased victim was shot and killed by the driver of a sport utility vehicle found crashed about 2 blocks away. The driver of the truck was also shot and is in critical condition at a local hospital tonight. Police are not releasing any names just yet. Another man was killed in a house fire overnight. The authorities say the man inadvertently started. Investigators have since determined that Willie Joe Wales, who lived in the 2400 block of Gravier Street, was using an extension cord to borrow electricity from his next-door neighbor. But apparently Wales' door slammed on the cord and caused a spark, which ignited his porch, trapping Wales inside. The fire department says sharing power is a dangerous practice.
Electrical wires are basically for temporary use. You don't want to put them under rugs where you're going to walk on. Once you break the insulation down, the wires become exposed within, and they'll touch one another. You have contact, and you'll have an electrical fire.
And homeless people using a portable heater are apparently to blame for yet another fire, a fire-alarm blaze near the fairgrounds. Fire investigators say the blaze started in a vacant house near the corner of Columbus and Galvez Streets. 3 other houses and 2 duplexes nearby suffered smoke and heavy water damage. No one was injured. And fire investigators in Metairie are trying to determine what caused a house fire on Virginia Street. But they have a suspect. While fighting the blaze, they noticed a woman dressed in singed clothing wandering around the burning house. Tonight, investigators are trying to determine if she is involved. The homeowner was out of town at the time of the fire. Elsewhere, what goes up must come down, and unfortunately, the down part came much too soon for 3 adventurists trying to become the first to circle the globe in a balloon. Rusty Dornan with that report.
They weathered the storms of world politics, but when the wind stopped, so did they. The round-the-world balloon attempt by British billionaire Richard Branson, American Steve Fawcett, and Swede Per Lindström came to a watery end Christmas Day. They ditched the balloon in the Pacific Ocean, 10 miles north of Oahu, Hawaii.
We were 3 days from home, and so just to abandon it to the sea is just because of this weather block was sad.
The Ico Global balloon was sailing well on its way to record books, riding a 200-mile-an-hour jet stream over the Pacific Thursday. Suddenly, they ran into a low-pressure system northwest of Hawaii. It was like hitting a brick wall.
In the middle of the night, we decided that it was a hopeless situation, and we decided we'd take the opportunity to fly as close as we could to Hawaii to make an easy rescue.
Taking off from Marrakesh on December 18th, the trio had been forced to navigate around storms, the bombing of Iraq, 3 other nations besides Iraq that refused them airspace, and diplomatic problems with China that forced them off course. Plagued by politics, forced down by nature.
It's a very, very difficult thing to circumnavigate the globe. Otherwise, someone else would have done it by now.
Richard Branson has tried and failed 3 times. Steve Fawcett, the holder of the distance and duration record, has tried and failed 5 times. This attempt, lasting 7 days and 11 hours, did not break any balloon records. The capsule was dragged across the Whitecaps for an uncomfortable ride, but the crew was plucked safely from the water by the U.S. Coast Guard. Already, there are thoughts about the next time.
You climb out saying never again, but you next day you're climbing and saying let's go for it.
Branson says they will try to get back with family and friends for the rest of the Christmas holiday. Rusty Dornan, CNN.
Mother Nature may also be to blame for yesterday's deadly bus crash in New Jersey. 8 people died and 15 others were injured when their bus skidded off the road in Sayreville, New Jersey. The group was headed to Atlantic City for a day of gambling. Today, the driver said he hit an icy patch of roadway and lost control of the vehicle. Well, no ice in our area, but it isn't very far away. Meteorologist Dan Milham is in the Weather Center.
Right, Norman, all the rain showing up now live on Super Doppler 6000 is just that. It's liquid precipitation. Our temperatures are likely to stay above freezing tonight. I'll tell you why I don't think that rain's going to be around in the morning, and the sunshine may give us a little show tomorrow when I come back.
Okay, Dan, also ahead, see how the freezing weather elsewhere could wind up costing you some money. Plus, most of us take it easy during our vacations, but not this man. He's too busy to take a break, and he's making a difference. We'll be right back.
You're watching Channel 6 News tonight with Norman Robinson and Susan Rosden. AMS meteorologist Dan Milham with weather, and Rich Lenz with sports.
It's Macy's store-wide after Christmas sale and clearance.
Boatload of hot, crispy catfish, piles of succulent shrimp, our own homemade hush puppies, home-style fries, and a large drink for only $7.88. What a value! Only $7.88 for our new Fisherman's Platter. Take it from me, you'll love it. When we called it New Orleans Hamburger and Seafood Company, we had to make it good.
And now a Christmas tradition with a strange twist. At this year's reenactment of George Washington's crossing of the Delaware River, participants had to forego the boats and do it on foot. Months of dry weather, it seems, has reduced the water level by several feet, leaving today's 122nd reenactment high and dry. The bridge has been used twice before when the river was frozen over, but this is the first time it's been used because of drought conditions. And back home now, time to meet tonight's unsung hero. Last year, he was named by his peers from Bell South as Outstanding Pioneer of the Year, a man who spends just about all of his free time, including his vacation, helping others in need. He is this week's Outstanding Citizen for making a difference.
On this quiet, wintry day in City Park, Percy Washington surveys one of his group's many projects and reflects on when he became involved with the Bell South Pioneer Volunteers.
I went out and we did the track and field day, the Bell South Pioneers, and that's when I got really started with helping out and doing volunteer work.
That was about 10 years ago, and from that moment till now, his efforts have run the gamut from painting schools to building this special fishing pier in City Park, a pier for physically challenged children.
That was the main thing, is being able to have the kids get close enough in wheelchairs to where they can have just as much fun fishing as the kids that were not disabled in wheelchairs.
Besides constructing this pier, Percy Washington and his Lake Council Bell South Pioneer members have built 2 houses for Habitat for Humanity helped wire 11 schools for access to the internet, painted the Abramson High School gym, and helped raise funds for the St. Bernard Battered Women's Shelter.
Why do you volunteer?
I enjoy the feeling I get from helping other people, from seeing the smiles on people's faces after you help out. People are so appreciative if you just give a little hand. It gives me the feeling of giving back to the community.
He adds it's all about being a positive influence on children and teens to touch the life of one child and improve his quality of life. Percy Washington, willing to tackle whatever needs to be done to make a difference.
WDSU TV recognizes your efforts in helping make our community a better place for us all and salutes your good work. It is only through the hard work of individuals helping each other that we will find a better way for us all, making a difference together. Congratulations, Mr. Washington.
Thank you, Norman. And I'd like to say, this is not only for Percy Washington, this is for Bellsouth Pioneers. Thank you.
And you're very welcome. And if you know someone who makes a difference in your community, write to me here at Channel 6, WDSU 846 Howard Avenue, New Orleans, 70113, and please include your telephone number. Still to come, Mother Nature didn't let the sun shine for Christmas, but what about the weekend? Don't miss meteorologist Dan Milham's forecast. Plus, the freezing temperatures across the nation could cost you when you go to the supermarket. That's next.
In 1948, when Channel 6 first hit the airwaves, Barks had been around for 50 years. Walgreens doors had been open for a decade, and everyone was rocking to this. Today, celebrate New Orleans traditions from past to present with this commemorative CD filled with New Orleans sounds that will take you on a trip through time. You'll hear tunes from Professor Longhair, Art Neville, and Dave Bartholomew. Get your CD at the Barks display at any participating Walgreens. Deep Roots from Barks, Walgreens, and Louisiana's first, Channel 6.
It's been an award-winning year, so we're having an award-winning year-end event celebrating 15 years of minivan leadership. Take advantage of these special opportunities now. Get $1,000 cash allowance on Plymouth Grand Voyager, on the ultimate Chrysler Town & Country, and on America's lowest-priced minivan, Plymouth Voyager. Or lease Plymouth Voyager for just $239 a month, or get 1.9% APR for a limited time only at your Chrysler and Plymouth dealer.
What? You still haven't called U.S. agencies about your auto insurance? What am I gonna do with you? Did you know that U.S. agencies eliminates the middleman, so they start off with lower rates? You get all kinds of choices on your payment plan, and it just takes a few minutes to pick up your new policy. Easy, huh? So, what are you waiting for? The number's in the yellow pages. I always knew you were the smart one.
6 News Closed Captioned is brought to you in part by your local Chrysler and Plymouth dealer.
The holiday cold snap is blanketing parts of the nation in snow. For farmers on the West Coast, that means damaged crops. And as Rob Reynolds reports, that may mean a bigger grocery bill for you.
3 straight nights of icy cold temperatures have destroyed half California's citrus crop, causing nearly $600 million worth of damage.
The prospect is for shorter supplies or much reduced supplies of lemons and perhaps also navel oranges. And what we're hearing from those in the produce trade, that perhaps on navel oranges we could see as much as a doubling of the current price.
California produces most of the country's fresh oranges sold as fruit and 80% of the lemons. The lemon crop has been particularly hard hit.
Well, we've had temperatures down into the mid to low 20s in the San Joaquin Valley, and it has caused significant damage to the lemon crop in the San Joaquin Valley. We do know that from farmers telling us that in some cases they will be lucky to harvest what is remaining on the tree.
The freeze is a devastating blow to farming communities in the Central Valley, which already has some of the highest unemployment in the nation. Farmers are flooding orchards with water, building fires, and running sprinklers to keep the crops warm. Grower Bob Davis set out oil-burning stoves and hired a helicopter to hover overhead. That helps warm air circulate throughout the grove.
Okay, we're 28, been as low as 27, so we're doing okay.
All night long, Davis kept the fires burning. At dawn, smoke blanketed the valley, and Davis said he'd managed to save most of his crop.
We may have dodged a bullet here last night. The rest of the state may not have been so lucky.
Wholesalers say navel oranges that were selling for 35 cents a pound on Tuesday are now up to 90 cents a pound. 2 of the California counties worst affected have already applied for federal disaster aid. Rob Reynolds, CNBC Business News, Washington.
Well, no snow and ice in these parks, but Dan says there's a little rain about.
Just a wind chill to make it feel like it's in
yeah.
the 30s. Yeah, and there is still some rain out there. This is live Super Doppler 6000, our exclusive live Doppler radar. And you are looking at the wide-angle view of the rain that continues. As you can see, it's mainly south of the lake. Here's the North Shore. South Shore has a lot of rain. Again, it looks like it's moving away, but let me show you what's happened over the last 3 hours. We put this in time lapse, and you will notice that the rain has sort of swelled up over us. It sort of retreats from the South Shore, then a little bulge comes in and affects the South Shore more in St. Tammany Parish, and that's what's likely to happen for the rest of the night. However, by overnight, I do think by morning that we're going to see this rain moving farther and farther away from the city of New Orleans. As we look closely, we can see that there's a lot of rain around St. Bernard, Plaquemine, Jefferson, West Bank of Jefferson, parts of St. John, St. Charles, rather, Lafourche and Terrebonne parishes. It wasn't there earlier, but it's kind of swelled back up over that area. However, in town, not too much rain left, and on St. Tammany Parish's roadways, very little rain is falling now. There may be more later tonight, but for the time being, it's let up. Take a wide view now of cloud and radar imagery from our area, and you'll see why I'm encouraged about tomorrow. Notice how this rain has been retreating slowly to the southeast, as have the clouds. Clear skies in Shreveport and Monroe now. Now, granted, this rain has taken its time, and the little bulges are still affecting our metropolitan area from time to time, but the line is slowly moving in such a way that I think it will be out of here by morning. The lows this morning, high 30s South Shore, mid 30s North Shore. Similar temperatures tomorrow morning, but instead of 40s tomorrow afternoon, I think we'll be up into the 50s. Around the state now, it's clear skies and below freezing. 27 at Monroe up there, you see, 29 at Shreveport, 43 here at New Orleans International. Look outside, live through the city cam. Well, one of our pictures through the city cam, it's light rain now. 43 at the airport in Audubon, 41 at Slidell. The thick clouds have kept us from cooling much at all. 96% humidity, 30.27 falling pressure, and a north wind at 6 miles an hour. A big picture look at the clouds and radar shows you the rain that I've been showing you here all around the southeast and up in the northwest. A lot of snow and sleet still falling up there, and I expect more of the same up in the northwest tomorrow. The rain here moving eastward, still affecting South Carolina, Georgia, and parts of Florida. The temperatures, our morning lows again 30s and some 40s, but the afternoon highs here I think will get up in the 50s. They're still looking at afternoon highs only in the 30s in places like Chicago. So overnight, spotty rain continues, some lows in the 30s, right in town maybe around 40. The morning temperatures with partly sunny skies, just the possibility of rain will be in the 40s. I think the rain's going to taper off in the early morning hours, and I think by tomorrow afternoon you'll be seeing some sunshine. Temperatures in the 50s. That'll be a nice day, but, you know, still a chance of rain. I'll give it a 9 on the darn scale. The boaters' winds at times over 10 miles an hour, but not too bad over the weekend, shifting to south Monday ahead of the next system, which you will see bringing us a little rain again. High tides, evening hours, low tides during the daytime. But the range is half a foot, so it's not much good to us. It looks like a pleasant weekend. Cold mornings, cool to mild afternoons, and as I say, the next chance of rain Monday ahead of another cool front. Probably cool us down by New Year's Eve.
There you go. Timing is everything.
It is, really.
All right, Dan. Well, speaking of timing, hope you're ready for some football. There was plenty of it in 3 college bowl games today, including the annual Blue-Gray game where 2 LSU stars shined. Stan Barrett has the highlights next.
It's the biggest, wildest sale in all of the Big Easy. Wild Bill's year-end final closeout. 6 big days with 6 big ways for you to save. 1. 0 down delivers any vehicle from Bill Watson Ford. 2. 0.9% financing. 3. No payments till March. 4. Double rebates up to $4,000. 5. Every trade-in accepted. 6. Prices as low as $4.99. And that's on top of year-end prices. 6 big days and 6 big ways you'll see. Wild Bill's got the deals. That's me. Bill Watson Ford.
It started with his father's original appliance business in 1956, to his own service company and an exclusive Maytag dealership.
That was the first door in Gretna. And the truth about appliances is that people want excellent service, a quality product, and they want to deal with friendly, knowledgeable people who stand behind what they sell. That's A1 Appliance.
Today, they're the biggest appliance specialist in Louisiana, selling, delivering, and servicing the biggest name appliances in the state. A1 Appliance, the appliance specialist, a Louisiana success story.
Well, the South loves trucks, it's all there is to it. For work or play, just get out and do it.
The truck stop of the New South.
The new Dodge.
The truck stop of the New South. The truck stop of the New South.
Let's make it rough, make it tough, make it tight, make it right, make it full of surprise. It's Southern style. Make it Ram and Dakota by Country Mile.
The truck stop of the New South.
The new Dodge.
The truck stop of the New South.
The truck stop of the New South.
For 60 years, Door Furniture has helped generations of New Orleanians furnish their homes. Today, the Door family tradition of quality, selection, and service continues. Visit our huge showroom of solid wood and upholstered furnishings and take home your favorite furnishings from Door. Celebrating 60 years in New Orleans.
Door Furniture.
May the holiday season bring the very best to you and yours.
And get happy with a great choice. The 99 Ranger or the 99 Escort, just $10,985. The 99 F-150 Super Cab, $16,985. Or just $15,985. Bone Ford makes buying easy, easy.
Where you gonna go? Bone Ford in New Orleans. The big easy car buying place.
Later on The Tonight Show, the heartwarming holiday classic, Chinocchio. I can walk. Plus, Terry Hatcher, supermodel Tyson Beckford, Dwight Yoakam, and the most returned Christmas gifts.
It's the festive toilet seat wreath. Look at that. Isn't that lovely?
Then on Conan, Lucy Lawless, Tate Donovan, and another escaped dancer on the loose tonight.
It's time for sports with Stan Barrett. And do we have enough bowl games today?
Yeah, got plenty of them. The exciting day at the Blue-Gray game for the LSU Tigers. It's a good thing for the Gray team that Herb Tyler and Joe Wesley were there at the Blue-Gray game today. Their team couldn't have won without him. Tyler playing running back for the Gray team instead of quarterback like he did for 4 years at LSU, but Herb showed some skills in at tailback. He scores here from 4 yards out to pull the Gray team to within 7 at 24-17. Then he watched his teammate Joe Wesley make a big play. Wesley will get the interception on this play, and then he takes it back for a touchdown, 83 yards in all. Nobody's going to get him. Auburn's Karsten Bailey added another touchdown later, and the Gray holds on for the 31-24 win today in Montgomery. Next stop, Hawaii. Michael Buffer making some more easy money today. Gets 10 grand every time he says that. 94 points scored in this one today. Colorado didn't wait long to get started. Ben Kelly takes the opening kickoff back, 93 yards for a score. And the Buffaloes all-around play today overshadowed a 456-yard passing day by Oregon's Akili Smith. This guy said to be rising higher and higher in the eyes of NFL scouts among the big quarterback crop this year, but he and the Ducks got their goose cooked today. The Buffaloes stampede to a 51-43 win. Then later tonight, at the same stadium in Hawaii, it's the inaugural Oahu Classic. It was Washington and Air Force there. The Air Force running game giving the Huskies some trouble. Jamal Singleton scores one of his 2 first-half touchdowns, and Air Force jumped out to a 14-0 lead. But Washington came back. They've got a pretty good quarterback, too. Brock Heward, who's a junior, missed a chance to come out to the NFL draft last year, but says he's going to come out this year. He goes to Andre Desaussure to set up a score and make it 14-7. But Air Force added another score before the half. Scott McKay goes in from 15 yards out, and they're running away with it in the fourth quarter now. 38-13, the score there in Hawaii. Now, turning to the NFL, 2 games on Saturday of this weekend, but you'll have to wait until Sunday for one with playoff implications. The Cardinals can wrap up the NFC's final playoff spot against San Diego. And finally, New Orleans native Aeneas Williams will get to see the light of winning after 8 years in the NFL.
I see light, but I've had a good friend of mine, Gil Byrd, who played with the San Diego Chargers, and he ended up seeing the light later on in his career. So we talk periodically and just talk about some of the things that's happened here. But definitely starting to see definitely rays of it.
While Williams waits for his chance, Lamar Thomas took advantage of his. He scored 3 touchdowns for the Dolphins against Denver Monday night in a game he wasn't even supposed to start. The Dolphins rewarded him today with a 2-year contract extension worth about $1.5 million. And finally, tonight, there are some folks in Minnesota who are hoping the Vikings can take it to the house one more time tomorrow. Take it to their house. A Minnesota home center promised to reimburse everyone who bought a spa, a sunroom, or a gazebo in November, provided the Vikings won their final 5 games by at least 7 points. Now, they've won 4 by that margin so far. If they beat Tennessee tomorrow, it will cost the store $433,000 in merchandise. I think they took out an insurance policy to protect themselves. Finally, since we didn't have the traditional NBA Christmas doubleheader, we showed It's a Wonderful Life here on Channel 6 and on every other NBC station around the country. But the All-Star game will be a different story. If that's canceled, Variety magazine says NBC is planning a World Championship Wrestling extravaganza. So I don't know if you like Hulk Hogan better than Michael Jordan, but that's what you wind up with.
Let's put it this way. I like Jimmy Stewart better than both of them. All right.
All right.
Okay. Still to come, find out where some of the candy you ate today probably came from. We're headed to the Elmer Candy Company in Ponchatoula when we come back.
32 models, 13 dealers, hundreds of cars. 1 week, 1 event. It's the big one. Your local Pontiac dealers have combined for the biggest year-end bash ever. Now, through January 4th, you'll get 0.9% financing on Grand Am, Sunfire, and Montana, or huge cash back, or 2 special lease rates. It all ends January 4th, so hurry. Don't miss the big one. See your Performance Pontiac dealers today.
Once every year, in every Kirschman store, every price is reduced. It's everything you've dreamed of. The Everything Reduced sale, now at Kirschman's.
A champion's pedigree.
We are a company built on engineering mastery. 300 gives us an all-out engineering car. It has put real fire and spirit into the whole job we do.
Introducing the all-new 99 Chrysler 300M Sports Sedan.
It's unique, and it's exciting, and it's a basic automotive experience.
The most horsepower, the most torque, and the widest stance in its class. The Chrysler 300M. The technology has changed, but the soul lives on.
This Super Bowl Sunday, the Prize Patrol could surprise you with $31 million. The one and only Publishers Clearinghouse Sweepstakes. Now, bigger than ever.
Cool.
This Super Bowl Sunday, the Prize Patrol could surprise you with $31 million.
Got the roses.
The one and only Publishers Clearinghouse Sweepstakes. Now, bigger than ever.
Gesundheit.
Toyota Corolla, now with a new design and a Consumer's Digest Automotive Best Buy recommendation. USA Today says Toyota Camry is the #1 selling car in America. And Toyota Tacoma is 4-Wheeler Magazine's 1998 Pickup Truck of the Year. Toyota, we just keep getting better every day.
The average wait for someone who needs an organ transplant is 407 days. Unfortunately, some people don't make it that long.
The 6 Cyber Survey, exclusively on WDSU.com. Internet services provided by Vario, the new world of business, and Louisiana's first, Channel 6.
And finally, if you've had your fill of Christmas candy, then you might find this next story a bit much. But now that Santa is done for the year, the Easter Bunny is going to have to get hopping. And chances are, he's going to hop to Ponchatoula.
It's looking a lot like Christmas everywhere you go. Everywhere but at Elmer Candy Corporation in Ponchatoula.
We are making Easter right now, finishing up Valentine's.
They're putting the finishing touches on Valentine's candy and shipping it out. And would you believe they're already hard at work on their Easter candy?
Most popular is Heavenly Hash.
Ponchatoula is known for its strawberries, and strawberries are going to be coming out early this year in the form of Elmer's new Strawberry Heavenly Hash Easter eggs. They'll be hitting the stores the first of the year. While they mass-produce Easter candy to ship worldwide, there are still some important details done the old-fashioned way at Elmer's. And no one knows that better than Clara Manson, who's been making candy here for 26 years, and says there's a secret to making the large gold bricks. Yeah, they're all handmade. Elmer's pecan eggs are also pretty popular, and company folks say they're only made with the freshest pecans around.
We believe that the best pecans in America are right here in Louisiana, Louisiana seedling pecans, and we will use nothing else.
But you may be wondering, how can these chocolate delights still be fresh by Easter?
Our rooms are kept between 55 and 60 degrees Fahrenheit and a low humidity, and it keeps the candy fresh up to about a year.
But Elmer's officials say more than half of the 15 million pounds of candy they make each year is being shipped out this month. So it's probably already on its way to a store near you.
Well, that's the news for now. Merry Christmas and good night.